The new US Dietary Guidelines just dropped, and already people are confused. On the surface, the message sounds simple. Eat real food, cut sugar, eat more protein, and include healthy fats. But depending on how you interpret that, it could quietly push people toward eating more saturated fat than is actually good for their health. So today, I'm going to translate what these new guidelines really say, what they mean for cholesterol and long-term health, and how to apply the good parts in a practical, whole food, plant-forward way. No politics, just physiology. And at the end, I'll give you a simple plan you can use immediately, even if you don't actively follow. Government nutrition advice, these guidelines matter. They shape what ends up in school lunches, hospitals, care facilities, and grocery store shelves. They influence food policy, marketing, and what people consider healthy for years at a time. So understanding them correctly matters, especially when the messaging is vague. The 2026 to 2030 guidelines emphasize several big points. They tell people to eat more whole foods and avoid ultra-processed snacks and packaged foods. They recommend minimizing added sugars, and they go further than before, saying that no amount of added sugar or non-nutritive sweeteners is actually recommended. They suggest keeping added sugar very low per meal and clearly discourage foods like candy, cookies, chips, and sugary drinks. Alcohol guidance was softened as well. Instead of specific daily limits, the focus is now on drinking less overall, and the biggest headline. They encourage higher protein intake and talk about healthy fats in broader terms than before. Let's give credit where it's due. Reducing added sugar is a massive win. If fewer people drink sugar-sweetened beverages or eat dessert-style breakfasts every day, that alone would improve public health. Whole foods matter. Calories that come in shiny packages are incredibly easy to overeat, especially for kids. The emphasis on real food over ultra-processed food is one of the strongest parts of the document. Here's where the confusion starts. The guidelines technically keep saturated fat under the traditional limit, less than 10% of total calories, but the messaging around fat is muddy. While olive oil is still recommended, the document also mentions butter and beef tallow as options. That's where people get concerned, and rightly. So, most people don't hear nuance, they hear headlines. And the headline many people will hear is, "Butter is back." That's a problem, because saturated fat adds up very fast. Decades of evidence show that replacing saturated fat with unsaturated fats, especially polyunsaturated fats, reduces cardiovascular risk. That science hasn't changed. Protein is important. That part is true. But when people hear eat more protein, most don't think lentils or beans. They think meat, cheese, and dairy. And this is critical. The source of protein matters. Large population studies consistently show that higher intake of animal protein, especially processed red meat, is associated with higher mortality risk. Replacing those proteins with plant protein is associated with lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and overall mortality. This isn't about shaming anyone. It's about understanding where the risk actually comes from. This conversation isn't new. For decades, physicians studying nutrition and chronic disease have pointed to the same patterns. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol. LDL cholesterol drives heart disease. That mechanism does not change with trends or guidelines. Doctors working with heart disease patients have seen firsthand what happens when saturated fat and animal products are reduced and what happens when they reintroduced. Another point that gets lost in the protein conversation. Most people don't have a protein deficiency. They have a fiber deficiency. Only plant proteins come packaged with fiber, antioxidants, and dramatically lower saturated fat. That combination shows better outcomes again and again. Here's the key takeaway. You can meet all the stated goals of the new guidelines: more protein, real food, less sugar, without turning it into a steak and butter. Come back. Think in anchors for protein. Tofu, tempeh, lentils, beans, chickpeas. For fats, nuts, seeds, chia, flax, tahini, avocado. If you use olive oil, fine, keep it modest. The goal isn't zero fat, it's the right fat. If you want a simple mental model, use the 3- to -1 plate. 3 parts plants, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, 2 parts protein, beans, tofu. Lentils, 1 part fat, nuts, seeds, avocado, tahini, no macro tracking required. Taco night, swap half or all of the meat for beans, lentils, or shredded tofu. Same seasoning, add peppers and onions. Most people won't even notice. Pasta night. Blend white beans or chickpeas into marinara or make a lentil bolognese. Toss broccoli into the pasta water during the last few minutes of cooking. Breakfast. Try a tofu or chickpea scramble loaded with vegetables. Or oatmeal with chia or flax and fresh fruit, natural sugar, fiber, and protein working together. Just avoid flavored yogurts and breakfast products packed with added sugar. The goal isn't to argue guidelines, it's to eat in a way that actually supports your health. You can take the best parts of the new recommendations: less sugar, more whole food, adequate protein without increasing your risk through excess saturated fat. Patterns matter more than trends, and the pattern that keeps winning in health research is plant-forward, whole food eating.